Hey EXPers and Express Offer certified agents, let's take a look at some new lead best practice. Whether it's leads that we're producing for you through the Making It Rain program, leads you're producing on your own from organic activities. If you haven't already, catch our strategies for some of those organic methods and strategies. But no matter where leads are coming from, really, some of these best practices, most of these best practices still come into play on how you should be working in new leads. As soon as it hits your database, as soon as you're getting that new lead alert, what should you be doing? As always, if you do not have this best practice sheet in front of you, wherever this video is, you probably have it in front of you already. If you don't, we'll try and have it posted as a link wherever this video is. But if you have any questions about this, need any resources referenced in this video, email us at makingitrain@exprealty.com or Express Offers, email address expressoffers@exprealty.com. Message myself, Kevin Comiskey, or anyone on the Express Offers or Making It Rain staff if you have any questions or need any of the resources referenced in this video. Let's jump out of this and take a look at that new lead best practice here. So this is that PDF document that you hopefully have in front of you. If you don't already, again, message us. But a few good things here. Right off the bat, a great case study. We reference this in several resources. We'll be continuing to collect great case studies from actual other agents working the leads and turning leads into listings. Here's an example of one from Julie Clark in Washington, a great breakdown from her, really in depth on exactly what she was doing to convert one lead into a contact, into an appointment, into a listing. Great insight to her process and how she really exhibits her value to secure a listing and a client. Real valuable stuff here. Take a look at this. You know, best practices and scripting, everything pulled into this two-pager here. So that's linked and clickable right on this best practice doc. Nothing better than agents helping agents and hearing what agents what's working for other agents. So besides that, the two biggest takeaways out of this are going to be that document with a bunch of great insight, but also call. I mean, nothing, you know, when you talk new lead best practice, we could almost do a document that just said call. As soon as you get a new lead, within 5 minutes, call, and the scripting, and we could leave it at that. And that's really, you know, would be the main important things to new lead best practices: picking up the phone and calling, sending a video, those sorts of things. But nothing is going to replace making a phone call as quick as you possibly can. You can see some of the stats here behind how important it is to call as quickly as possible. When you get somebody on the phone, you know, we've got the script book linked here, call opening examples, always be going for the appointment, important topics to go through here, you know, great one-liners here, bulleted out, options for you to, you know, be going for that appointment. Now, it's great to have a conversation on the phone and build rapport, but at the end of the day, your main goal on the phone with somebody for the first time is to set that face-to-face appointment. It's great, yeah, chit-chatting and building rapport, but if you chit-chat for 20 minutes and don't get anywhere to the goal of your conversation, which is setting an appointment, you're setting yourself behind. You know, that's great. You can build rapport on the phone and chit-chat, but you've got to be asking the right questions and you have to be going for an appointment. You know, you can build some rapport on the phone, but nothing replaces building rapport face-to-face. That's how you secure a client. You can't secure a listing over the phone. You can do that face-to-face. And then we break down some of the best practice for KB Core, if you're using that as your CRM, or Attract ROI, if you're using that as your CRM. Some good things where your eyeball should go when it comes to those two systems when a new lead comes in. Things you should be doing in those. And this is going to be a developing document. As we get more and more best practices, we'll be developing this document with more and more best practices. But good things when it comes to CRMs, we'll be getting a great, by the time you watch this video, we'll probably have a great tutorial on an advanced type of tutorial on doing personal video and sending that to new leads. So now you just got a new lead, you attempted to contact them, you didn't successfully connect with them right away. What you should be doing with an uncontacted lead. What are those best practices? Ongoing effort. Again, nothing is going to replace picking up the phone and trying to connect with that person. One phone call, two phone calls, three phone calls is not going to do it. You've got to be calling 2 or 3 times a day for the first few days, and overall 12 to 16 times over the first 3 weeks. You should be picking up the phone 2 or 3 times a day and calling your new leads that are uncontacted that you've gotten in the last 3 weeks, and picking them up and calling them. And over the course, if you do that kind of best practice consistency every day, you will reach out to people easily 12 to 16 times over the first 3 weeks, and you will connect with more people. Statistically, you will connect. If you make that 7th, 8th, 9th phone call, you will connect with more and more people. You are really, by thinking that you reaching out to somebody once or twice is really going to put you in the best position, and you're going to reach the highest percentage of your leads by reaching out, making 2 or 3 phone calls, especially one, is not true. You're going to reach more people the more attempts you put into it. And it's worth your time. It's a phone call. It's a quick phone, especially if you're using your dialer or something like that. It's quick to get through that. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a hold of leads that ended up being clients between the 8th, 9th, 14th call attempt. It's worth it in the long run to put in those call attempts and finally reach somebody. Being time blocked. Be strategic. Don't be calling people at the times of the day that aren't the best to call people. I mean, if you've got statistically if you were making phone calls, you made 10 phone calls, and this is just for simple math, you should probably be able to make more than 10 phone calls in an hour time block. But if you were to make 10 phone calls from 10 to 11 a.m. and you only reach 2 or 3 of them, but if you called that same 10 people, and you called them between 8 and 9 a.m. before the typical work day starts for most people, instead of connecting with 2 or 3, you're connecting with 4 or 5. That's just an average there, speaking from experience. But why would you time block if you're going to immediately know you're shooting yourself in the foot by calling during a bad time block? 10 to 11 a.m. is not a good time to call people. People have gotten their day going by then. 1 to 2 is the worst. Like it says right here in this paragraph, 1 to 2 is the worst. Why would you be calling people in the worst time blocks if you know you're not going to reach the best percentage of who you're calling? So call during those best time blocks, 8 to 9 a.m., 4 to 5 p.m. Around lunch, I found okay too. But be strategic. It's all about the numbers and putting yourself in the best position. And then always be showing your value. Whether you've contacted somebody or not, get your put your listing agent hat on, get neighborhood reports, CMAs, market reports, be sending them listings that are, what the neighborhood activity is going on to position you as a neighborhood expert. You want to position yourself in their eyes as a neighborhood expert and as their listing agent. You want to make those assumptions and get it into their head to where you are making that assumption that you're their listing agent, and there's nothing wrong with that. They'll start to believe that, and you'll start to earn their trust and become that trusted advisor to where you are, no second thought on their end that you are the neighborhood expert and you're going to be the person listing their home. You want to create that mentally for them. And we'll be coming out. This is another topic where we'll be coming out with much more, because there's so much opportunity and so many options here when it comes to providing value. There'll be plenty more training resources on how to provide value, putting your listing agent hat on, providing value. Drip campaigns of automatic campaigns of text messages, emails, etc. There's a smart campaign in KV Core specifically for express offers. There's, if you're using Attract ROI, there's a built-in marketing campaign, but you've got to be using those drip campaigns. You have to let automation be helping you side by side with you reaching out with the phone. Again, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't have some automated texts and emails, personalized. I don't mean spammy stuff. I mean good personalized messages to help you engage. I mean, why would you shoot yourself in the foot if you've got 10 leads and 2 or 3 of them you could contact 2 or 3 more of them via an automatic text message and have them engage with that message, and you can pick up the ball and run with it. Why would you not want to knowingly not utilize a resource that's going to help you contact 2 or 3 more people? or more out of a handful of leads. Making some phone calls on Saturdays. This is a great strategy that I always like to weave in. People that I would call during the week and just not be able to get a hold of, I would just keep a list on a notepad. Nothing crazy here. Keep a list on a notepad during the week of people that I'm calling, but I know I've got the right number for, but I just can't connect with them because they're just busy during the week. And I pull out that list and make those. That list would be 10 to 15 names by the end of the week. Pick up the phone on a Saturday morning, not too early. There's no statistics on this, but from experience, not too early on a Saturday, between 10 and 11, 9:30 and 11. You will always connect with a handful of those people. Why not? Why would you not? If you had a list of 10 people that you can contact during the week, you call them on, say you take an hour on Saturday to call them, you'll connect with 2 or 3 of them at least. That's 2 or 3 more opportunity that you just created yourself for taking an hour. 2 or 3 more opportunities that you wouldn't have otherwise if you didn't implement this small strategy. It's all about implementing the small new best practices to get you more at bats with potential clients. Voicemail strategies here. Cutoff message. This is a great strategy, and there's a video here just on this strategy. I love this. It's a little tricky, but nothing unethical about it at all. It's just you're literally cutting yourself off in the middle of a message. So hey Gene, I'm going to kind of switch up what's on the text here. Hey Jane, this is Kevin. Just please give me a call back at not your number. I just wanted to chat with you about 123 Main Street and cut yourself off in the middle of the address. Like literally cut yourself off in the middle of the address and hang up in the voicemail. And the person will think that you got cut off by their voicemail. And and they'll want to call back, especially because you're dropping their address. They'll want to call you back and figure out, what you were calling about in reference to their address. It's a great little strategy that I picked up from, I forget where, but it really works. You'll get a ton of callbacks with this little strategy. Texting. If you contact somebody, so that's just all strategies for if you haven't contacted somebody, a new lead, until you contact them, all strategies. Here are strategies once you've contacted somebody. Say on the first call attempt, just keep it simple. You get a new lead, you call them within 5 minutes, you chit chat with them, you set an appointment. What should you be doing after a phone call? The must. It's easy to get excited. You just got off the phone with a good opportunity and have a potential new listing, a new client, and you're excited. It's easy to get ahead of yourself and forget to do some very important organizational things to put yourself in the best position to not drop the ball on this new opportunity. Those being, set a task. Never forget to set a reminder. I don't care if it's for tomorrow. If you need to get information to them tomorrow, you need to schedule appointments tomorrow, you need to whether it's tomorrow or a month from now, if you need to call them back in a month, you are not going to remember to do what you need to do with that person and that opportunity if you don't set a reminder. I don't care if it's tomorrow, you will forget by tomorrow. You'll get going on other real estate activities. You'll forget if it's tomorrow, and you're certainly going to forget if it's a month from now, if you need to reach back out to them. There's always going to be follow-up. I don't know if I've ever had a conversation where there isn't some sort of value, some sort of follow-up that I promised somebody in that conversation that you have to get to them in a timely manner, whether it's information about their neighborhood, information about your marketing for listings, information about express offers is going to be the big one. Obviously, we're talking express offers here. If probably going to be more information, including the pamphlet for can't jump over that. I'm going to backtrack a little bit here. The express offers question and answer brochure. If you're chit-chatting about express offers and that's a route that it seems like they might want to go during your conversation, you've got to be sharing this. And this is in the training for express offers, but linked again in this document is the question and answers brochure. This is something you've got to get in front of them for disclosure reasons, for clarity reasons, for expectation reasons. You've got to get this in front of them, the client, so they're real confident about what the process looks like, the Q&A brochure. So that's one thing that you would potentially have to follow up and share again with the with that client. Organizational things like changing their lead status. You want to keep your database, or this says changing the lead status, but really you could group this into everything with keeping your CRM organized and updated in reference, changing the lead status, making a note, those sorts of things you've got to do. You've got to make a note. I've got to add that to this list, is to make a note. You'll thank yourself a million times if you make good notes about your conversation, especially your first and most fact-finding conversations. Create a plan, especially if that person is looking to buy, sell, and if they're looking to get the ball rolling immediately, then you need to create a really immediate plan. There might not be too much structure out because you got to get the ball rolling. But if someone's not looking to sell for 3 months, create a plan to stay in front of that person for 3 months. And that translates into number one here. That translates into making the tasks and the notes. So you're organized and staying in front of that person for 3 months, and you don't fumble the ball between now and then on securing that listing. And making sure, another thing is, after a conversation, is making sure if you have any engaging, I already spoke to those drip campaigns, if you have any engaging type of messages going out from drip campaigns, make sure you shut those off. You don't want to have a conversation today and have a good conversation and have an automatic message go out in 2 days asking to have a conversation with that person. That's not going to make any sense. So you just shut off that campaign so that doesn't happen. Excuse me, I think I muted my mic there in time. I had to sneeze. Nurture. Again, I can't stress it enough. Set those reminders, set those tasks. A good rule for those reminders is the 1/3 rule. I've heard of the half rule, but I like the 1/3 rule. And that means if someone says that they're looking to sell or buy, whatever it might be, make their move in 6 months, you should not be waiting longer than 2 months to call them again. I don't mean email, text. You should be emailing and texting them, keeping them updated on the market, whatever their needs are consistently. But you should not be waiting more than 2 months, 1/3 of 6, 2 months, to call them and speak to them in person. Otherwise, you run the risk of losing an opportunity. If someone says 6 months and you wait 5 months, you run a high risk, and you will run into this over and over again, where you will shoot yourself in the foot. With someone says 6 months, well, things change. And if someone says 6 months, what if they decide after 2 or 3 months that, we need to move now? And if you're not staying in touch with them, they make a move, they go find another, you're not staying in contact with them, and they go find another agent, they decide to move early after 2 or 3 months. Now you're making a phone call at 4 or 5 months, and you're having a very painful phone call about how they, A, have another agent, and or B, already made a move, and that opportunity and potential commission check literally flash before your eyes. So don't wait too long to stay in touch with people. Additional value ideas here, already went with some of those, seller advantage plan, CMAs, market information, both locally and nationally, pre-listing packet. Get these things in front of them. If you get your pre-listing packet, if you have a really professional, valuable, impressive listing packet and pre-listing packet, you get that in front of them, and they've got that sets you apart and gets them mentally, okay, this is impressive, we're going to list with this agent. And so you want to be getting that value in front of them. So great best practice here. Be implementing these things, and you will always, every little thing that you can do strategically, best practice wise, consistency is going to continue to increase your conversion rate for leads. And that's the name of the game. Why would you not implement these things if they, in many cases, result in more success and more commission checks and more transactions? So implement these best practices. If you have any questions on any of them, please let us know. Again, email or message anyone on the team level or any individuals on Express Offers team or the Making It Rain team if you have any questions on any of these things. Thanks so much, EXPers.